Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to the Big Think Dimension with Dan and Bob Video Games.
Bob, we've got a job.
Good. KZ Excellent.
Catchphrase.
And Mr. Feel.
Line go down.
Here on GigaBoots.
Bob and I beat Mega Man Legends 2.
Cool.
Neither of us have ever done that before.
No, not at all. I don't only seen like an hour of it.
I literally got to the very end of the game.
I call it out specifically on the stream. The moment in the final dungeon where there's a door in a spot I didn't notice, and I'm like, that is exactly where I stopped as a kid. Like, I was 40 minutes from the very end of the game. There's a lot of improvements in Mega Man Legends 2, like in certain game feel and other things. Assets for sure.
Yeah, visuals just all around.
Oh yeah, vast improvement there. Kind of an amazing looking game for the PS1. But there's just something a little lost when it isn't like Catalogs is really well developed as an island.
Uh-huh.
And it feels like a lived in place. It feels really well developed, and all the different islands you go to in 2 don't really feel as good.
No, they're really one node and they don't connect together in any way that's coherent.
It kind of almost felt like the desert island that had the pirates attacking them.
Mm-hmm.
Could have felt like that, but just didn't. Like because of the way you play through it, and it's just a content hallway basically. And then there's no reason to really reinvestigate most of that town that you went through.
Yeah, it feels like most islands. Like the one with the 2 nomad children also is just basically a straight line with a large field that has an extra cave in it, and like that doesn't feel good.
Yeah, that doesn't capture the feeling of a Zelda, which is kind of what I felt like Legends was going for originally.
Mm-hmm.
But the temples, the dungeons they have, kind of do feel a bit more like Zelda because there's a water temple, but also
yeah, that water temple I did was awful and worse than any Zelda temple I've ever played.
I feel like game developer, if you're making a game and there's a large segment of your game that intentionally runs in slow motion, don't.
Oh,
just don't run your game at half speed for upwards of 30 minutes.
Yeah, the dungeon was like an hour long.
Well, yeah,
most of it was underwater.
That is the dungeon where I'm always like, maybe this isn't better than 1.
Yeah, the cool thing is, like, let me finish. So that was one thing about 2 I didn't like, that sort of feeling, right? Or lack thereof. The other thing is they barely give you any money. We didn't get S grade, which would have given us more money from each enemy, but it also would have made the game harder. But we did get the A grade license as diggers. The game barely gives you any money to upgrade equipment. Like at all. Like, how many upgrades did we buy total? 5 in the entire game? And that's not like we maxed out 5 stats. That's we upgraded 5 stats across 3 weapons across the entire game.
Yeah, I think the drill was cheap to upgrade, so we did all those upgrades, but nothing else was even close. Like, the rest of them were like,
it would start
triple
at like
the price for the lowest upgrade.
Well, no, because the attack would be 10k, and we'd be like, okay, we can afford that. That'll take a bit. We can afford it. There we go. And then the next one was 90. Yes. We're like, we can't do that. And that was everything. Turns out that and the slow motion underwater dungeon are both fixed in the PSP re-release. That was Japan exclusive.
Come on.
Oh.
So I could easily see a day where I just break down and play through that version despite not being able to read anything. Just so I can
maybe there's some kind of patch that just turns it into English.
I asked people. We have a lot of Mega Man viewers in the fan base and Mega Man fans in the fan base. No one seems to know of any English patch, which is unfortunate because, of course, why would they patch English into a game that's a port of a PS1 game that's already translated? I get why, but it's just like, I really need to be able to upgrade my special weapon. It got to a point really quickly and just stayed there and somehow got even worse where it's like, I'm never going to use my special weapon.
Yeah, no, main buster is just the way you play that game. There's nothing else.
It was really disappointing in that sense. Okay. Having talked about that, I'm ready to talk about the ending of Mega Man Legends 2. So if you're worried about spoilers, in case you don't know where Mega Man ended up, you're gonna have to skip the next 40 seconds to a minute and a half of this podcast.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's just me, but I feel like that ending is a gag ending that's kind of funny, but you never get the feeling that Mega Man's going to be stuck up there forever.
Yeah, it never feels like a real threat.
I expected the most melodramatic, terrible ending possible that's a cliffhanger. And they end it with, well, Data's going to figure out how to convince Tron Bonne and Roll to get him off this satellite, which is not the moon, for the record.
No, not the moon at all. I was disappointed we did not go to the moon in this game.
Real fucking subversion of my expectations based on certain Mega Man Legends 3 campaigns.
Yeah. Like,
I was surprised.
I never understood like people who treated it like there was a big cliffhanger. It's like, no, not really.
Yeah.
Like it felt like they set it up where they could just like you would just get to you would boot Mega Man Legends 3 and be like, thank God we got you off the moon. Sadly, I had to sell all your gear to afford the part to get you off the moon.
Right.
It also, like, there's not some horrible threat that's right around the corner either. They hint at things that like might be a threat later on, but it's not like some imminent thing. Mega Man needs to get back right now. There's nothing like that. This is a Goemon ending. Like, through and through. It's just a bunch of jokes.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
It was a pretty good ending, honestly.
Yeah, no, I liked it.
I'm just so confused after 20 years or something of hearing people be livid that they didn't make a third because they left it, quote, on a cliffhanger.
I mean, I totally bought it because Mega Man Legends 1 has a much darker ending, honestly. A much more serious stuff happens.
Yes. And it all does come quickly at you in the ending. So yeah, that was interesting. Also, if you want to hear us talk about Gundam Double Zeta, we do it for 22 minutes straight because we're so deep fried. We're like, we did the 100-question quiz. And for 2 hours, I tried to get the S-Class license, which I failed at, but ultimately people went, yeah, it would have just made all the enemies throughout the game harder, but not the bosses, so... And I'm like, oh, is that why, like, this missile launcher will take 300 hits, but Tron Bonne will take 4? Is that what's up? I made it, I got an A license, and the missile launcher became a Chad, but Tron Bonne got left in the dust.
Yeah, that just seemed really bizarrely unbalanced.
Yeah, I wonder if that's also fixed in the PSP one. I have no idea. But yeah, because we did the 100-question quiz without cheating, really, which was a really great segment of the stream. People were laughing their asses off and enjoying it. And unfortunately, me trying that hard to get the S-Class license, that stream went long. And I was okay with that because, once again, I never beat Legends 2. This is, for the time being, my playthrough of Legends 2. It's not just an ordinary stream. This is a Mega Man game, and this is my first time beating it. So I wanted to have a real sense of, closure and stuff. But that means, like, we're 16 and a half, 17 hours into the stream. I've been up for over 20 hours. And we're just there, and somebody in chat just asked us about Gundam. And, it just, me and Bob just start talking about Double Zeta, and that's how you get 20 minutes of that at the end of that.
Did you apologize afterward? Because I feel like that's important.
I apologized when I accidentally spit out a spoiler because somebody brought up something that really pissed me off because it doesn't connect with reality at all. They're like, I really like this series. It upsets me when things do this. And I'm like, you mean like that thing that series does? Except for I said more specific details, and they did too. And that added up to one spoiler. But it's okay. It's okay. I apologize for that immediately.
Yeah, you don't have to watch it anymore.
Oh, yeah, no. Double Zeta is fine. I got to have fun conversations on Twitter after finishing that. Besides, we're already well past that. We watched Shark's Counterattack, which was pretty cool. We watched the SD Gundam OVAs, which are way funnier than Double Zeta.
Yes, I think they depict him on in a much more appropriate light.
They do! Also, there's a lot of really good jokes in the SD Gundam OVAs. I hope the series is anywhere near as good, but it probably won't.
No,
be.
Absolutely not.
There's like no way.
We can watch one episode and move on.
The one that aired on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I do not.
The one that they tried to turn into a weird American cartoon called Doozy Bots.
I didn't know that.
You guys ever heard of Doozy Bots? I'm gonna.
No.
It'll be. I implore everyone to look up on YouTube, Doozy Bots. It's like a 4-minute we made like a pitch.
Yeah, it's a pitch for a series. That thing's really funny. Because
the basic gist is like the Burger King Kids Club of like diverse 80s kids.
Yes.
Like they were gonna make this footage to cut into the SD Gundam show.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, they're like controlling these Gundam Skrunkos, and it includes some really, really funny things like, what one should the kid in the wheelchair get? The gun tank.
No.
See, here I was thinking, I was like, oh, obviously Cubile, right? Doesn't have legs. Oh, the gun tank. Well, now that's cruel. But yeah, Doozy Bots is hilarious. I have seen that thing before. It's very, very funny how much of a please pick up our show this is. It's like, this is insane.
I assume this has to be a Saban thing. I assume this has to be Haim Saban.
Yeah, Saban was doing a lot of stuff like this at the time.
He loved to carry shit like this around on a VHS tape in his pocket because he's insane.
But yeah, very excited to watch more Gundam. Very excited that I've beaten Mega Man Legends 2. Someday I will complete Tron Bonne. It's not soon.
No.
I can tell you that much. I don't hate it, but you know, there's such broad horizons in what games we could be streaming. I wouldn't want to lock 3 weeks in a row down for Legends. Speaking of which, that's why, you know, what is now last Friday, we did a PS1 Mr. Core Retro Roulette. I'm very excited for that, having not done it yet, just because that core is way more compatible than I thought it would be. Like, that thing is more compatible than the PSIO, and it's a beta Mr. Core.
Now, let's see what we think about it after tomorrow is over.
I know, right?
Very excited.
I'm very excited. I've tried a shitload of games, like, because you came over that one day.
Yeah.
And we tried a ton. But then I also tried a ton on my own time.
Okay.
And I haven't run into major problems yet, which is weird, but, you know, we're doing that. There was another game I was going to check out in time for this big think. Didn't have time for it, unfortunate. So I'll talk about that next week. Hey, Bob. You been playing video games?
Yeah, I'll play some Vr games.
You playing video games?
I bought the DLC for that Gata Protectors game, which is Gata, Gotta Protectors.
Yes. Not a god of protectors.
No.
I figured putting it in the description field for the podcast, people would be able to find it, but no one looked at that.
Nobody looks at that.
No.
Cart of Darkness. That's Cart, C-A-R-T.
Thank you, Bob.
But they have DLC packs. They're for different sound chips from different generations of video games. So there's a Genesis one, there's a Super Nintendo one, Game Boy,
Wonder Swan.
And they come in different sets. I think there's 4 total. They also get you a new move for each character in each of these packs. So each pack will have like one move for a character.
Well,
so
skill sets, right? Is it only one move in the skill set? Because they sell it as skill sets.
Yeah, it's only one move for the skill set, except for one character gets 2.
Which character do you know?
The Oracle. It literally, the only reason I noticed that it was different is it literally, her second skill says, wait, why does she have 2?
That's pretty good. Getting that preferential treatment. I've listened to the soundtracks because they tweeted videos of how the different sound fonts sound, and they are really good. They not only have all of those you listed, but they also have the Castlevania 3 chip, the VRC6.
Yeah, I still haven't listened to that one. I really need to.
It's really good. I like that. I like the PC-88, I believe was one of them. I also like the Genesis. The SNES sounds like a fucking joke, and I love it.
Yeah, the SNES is great because they'll just start playing some Super Mario World music, and you're like, whoa!
Big fan of that. Very much looking forward to getting those DLCs at some point. We still haven't done a stream.
No.
We need to do that sometime.
And it's not just those abilities and soundtracks. You also get like 20 stages for each one of them or something like that.
I think it's 10 each.
Yeah, it's insane. It's it's way more than I've even played of the game just standardly.
Right.
For each expansion. I'm like, good lord.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, the total cost of it was really low. Like, I assumed it was going to be a little bit higher, but they have a season pass thing, right?
Yeah, you can buy it all at once for $11, and I think it's $12 if you buy them individually, something like that.
It's something like that. That's nuts, and that's actually a really great value. I definitely would have paid more, but yeah, I was really worried that they were going to, like, this game has no levels, and maybe the levels, like, they pack the levels in this DLC, but it's like, now the game has a decent amount of levels, and then they give you a ton of levels and these sound fonts and skill sets for each of these really cheap DLCs.
Right.
I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm very excited to play more of that.
Yeah, I do need to play through more of it because I did not do all that much. I didn't even, listen to all the different soundtracks, apparently.
Yeah.
I also played Sifu again because I realized I kind of just put it down because other things came out and I got distracted.
Yeah, it was scary back then.
So yeah, now I've actually gone through, done all the got the extra ending by sparing all the bosses.
Oh, nice.
Which is really neat. Now that people who've played the game and can actually write coherent sentences have explained how to spare a boss, it's a lot easier to do. Because before there were guides that were just bizarre. It was like, okay, just keep parrying him and eventually you can spare them. And it's like, no, all you need to do is like break their stance twice. And on this, after you break it the second time, instead of finishing them, you have a button prompt to spare them. I'm like, okay.
Oh.
This is written by a sane person. Thank you.
That's also kind of like a neat concept because it's like the concept of sparing is kind of like a flex. So they make you actively have to be able to flex on a boss to be able to do it.
Right. So that was interesting to do. And then I went back and tried to get everything to fill out the detective board, which is all the little random items you find throughout the levels.
Yeah.
And there's lots of really neat little story details in there. And you get to see some new environments. Like each level gets one secret room, basically, where you get to see more things about the boss.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. I just used a guide for it though, because it gets kind of esoteric as to how certain things unlock. Because there's one thing that's like, okay, after you've seen this computer, you don't get an item. You just have to see the computer in one stage. You go back to another stage and do something. I had already done like 3 times, but it was like, well, this room has nothing. So I never double checked it. But it's like, oh, you looked at that computer. That means you can go into this room and he'll actually talk to someone and be like, give me a USB drive.
Like, what? Like, I knew there was going to be some type of bullshit when I was like, I have everything in the first area except one thing. How do I do that? And then I just Google and they're like, when you go to the last level of the game, you get a key for the first level. I'm like, how dare you?
Yeah, they're a little mean as far as that goes.
That broke my brain. I'm like, no, I was so close.
But yeah, I then was like, well, what else is there to do? Because I don't have the platinum yet. The trophy that'll probably stop me from getting this platinum is you have to beat the game at age 25.
Oh!
Which each time you die, you go up a year.
Mm-hmm.
So that means even if I get to the final stage at age 20, because that's the starting age, I only get like 3 shots at the final boss because it goes up more than 1 year. It's like each time you get a counter that goes up. So like, okay, first death is 1 year, second death is 2 years.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, oh my God, that is a nightmare.
Yeah, right now the best I've done is I've got through level 3, having died once. But I don't know if I can get much better than that, so I don't know if I'll get this platinum.
That's unfortunate. But you had a good time with it.
Yeah, no, it's a great game. Absolutely. The only complaint I can really level against is the camera can get easily stuck and stuff.
Yeah.
It really.
Yeah.
That's the main problem with it.
I feel
if
like
they do a sequel, I'd buy literally any more games they do of this. You could just change the fighting style, and that's it. Just give me like a set for Muay Thai or whatever.
Oh God, yeah. I'd also like them to maybe get like some better VA, at least for that English track where I'm like, some of these voices are a bit weak and repeat already in the first level.
Yes, they could use some more. I like some of the random dudes, but your main guy doesn't sound very excited. It could be better for sure.
Mm-hmm. But it's not like massive, but it's like if there are improvements I'd want, that's probably up there along with styles.
I'd also like them to have some visual color cue for when a character's going to do a low attack. I know that's supposed to be part of learning it, but oh my God, it's so hard to tell when it's like just actual people's movements. It's like, okay, they're going to raise their hand up and then hit you low.
Yeah, I'm like, please.
And the only other thing I played this week was I went back to Sekiro because, if you play it on PS5, it'll run at 60, and
Novel.
Yes, it's the only way to play that game at a smooth frame rate.
Yes.
Because even my PC, which was mostly a 60, would have random hitches just constantly.
Yeah.
What about the Steam Deck?
Well, the Steam Deck ran it better than the fucking Xbox One and PS4, so good job, Steam Deck.
Yeah, it runs at a solid 55.
Let's go, baby.
God, that's so insane. It can run Sekiro fine, but then Sonic Generations, it's like, no.
What are you doing?
Hey, if you gave Sekiro a boost button, who knows what could happen?
So fucking Camille's like, Sonic go swoosh. And then the Steam Deck shits itself.
Jesus.
Sekiro.
Throw it right away. I reset the controls because I didn't want to get into the situation that was Elden Ring of I'm stuck using this control scheme, which is just patently bad. Because run button on circle so you can't look around, which is the same thing as Sekiro. So I knocked that out of the way right away. Definitely makes it easier to play. I'd actually really like to see a sequel to this game, but I'd like it to be improved in ways I don't know if they can. Of making it a real stealth game, because this game is still one of those things where it's like, yeah, I'm hiding behind a wall. They still see me directly through the wall. They give you the items that's like the ceramic pot pieces where you throw it and make noise to distract enemies. It usually has literally no effect on the enemies, except sometimes when it does, and instead of looking at where the pot piece hits, they stare at me and run, and they're just like, oh, I see you. It's like, what? So yeah, if they made this like into a real stealth game, it'd be pretty cool. And I'd love to see the animations for attacking feel a little less wonky, because I love that this has all new animations. I don't feel like I'm playing just another Souls game. But it, like, the swing for your main character just feels kind of wrong. So I'd love to see them improve that, but I don't know if they can, because a lot of stuff is just like deeply rooted in their engine, and they'll never fix it. Like, this game still has a bunch of that button queuing problem that's in everything they do. It's like, okay, I hit jump like 3 things ago, so it's gonna come out after I do a dodge and a slash. It's just gonna jump after that, because that was the order I hit those buttons in.
Oh yeah, I've never really liked that in any other games where I'm like, I am trapped through time.
But it's so like, it's really nice to see it running well. I like the style to it of having a lot more movement options. Like, you have the grapple hook and everything, and the setting is cool. So I might do another whole run on this. I'm not sure. I'm still just going through, and it hasn't hit any points where I'm just like, oh no.
You know, I was going through it a little bit before Elden Ring came out because I needed to feel something, and I hit that one area that at first made me go, man, fuck these guys, where it's like, we finally did it. We made one of these types of games, or at least something approaching a Souls-like, where you can like jump and you can fly around with your grappling hook. Here's this area with dudes with guns that will shoot you out of the sky. and I just remember hitting that on this replay, and I went, okay, I don't need to go too much further, because I just remember all the times I ate shit my first time.
Jeez.
Also, they have like a really fucked up grab hitbox with a gun, which I still will never understand.
A FromSoft character with a fucked up grab box?
But the grab is through the gun?
Man, that's innovation.
I played a decent chunk of it. I haven't hit the gun guys yet. That's great. I'm very excited to hit them again.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. I hate them and that fucking ape.
Yeah, the ape I remember being really obnoxious. Every enemy that's really big in this game I remember being just bad. Like, one of the ultimate enemies in the game I just never beat. It's like a giant burning man.
Oh yeah, that's like the hardest boss in the game.
Yeah, it's like I can't fight him because the camera doesn't work for this.
Yeah.
Why did you do this?
Yeah. I like the smaller enemies. Like, I really like the Genichiro fight that you have pretty early on. Like, a decent bit. But then you'll hit some of those big guys, and I'm like, what? Oh, man. Oh, this one's gonna fart on me.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
But that's really it. That's all I played.
Okay. Hey, KZ. What have you been playing?
I played through all of Sonic Unleashed last weekend on Xbox Series X, so I got to use the FPS boost in the various improvements that game got through that.
I hear that when you boost in that version, it doesn't drop to 10 frames a second.
The worst it ever gets is Adabat, the most famous Sonic Unleashed day stage to shit its pants, where it drops to like 13. Here it dropped to like 51 during like the hardest like turn that thing can do. So it felt great. I was shocked at how much improved this felt in like every aspect because of the improved frame rate and everything. Because I already enjoyed Unleashed. My main issue came through the metal grind that they make you do toward the end of the game. Because I always trick myself and go, well, there are more night stages than day stages, which would mean that I have to end up having more moon medals than sun medals that you collect across the game. That's wrong. They to beat the game, you need 80 moon medals and 120 sun medals. And I was just grinding toward the end for about 45 minutes. I had a worse time grinding in Looney Tunes Back in Action, the movie game. But the entire time I'm like, I'm gonna have to do the night medals after this. And then when they're like, no, go to Eggman Land, you're done. I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah, we can do that. That's great.
That's surprisingly competent as far as Sonic developers go. I was like, maybe they don't want to play the night levels, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like I had a much easier time now that I had better frame rate, less input lag in general, just going through the night stages. I feel like the hardest one for me used to be Empire City, the New York stage, where they're like, you're going to go across catwalks, but for this section, we're putting spikes on the side. If you even try to jump and miss, you will bounce off this thing immediately and fall into the abyss. But overall, yeah, I still really like this game. I feel like I wish they did a remaster where they, lowered sun medals down to 80, because if you do it like that, you have to be absent-minded to not hit that count by the end. And also, give me medals based on the rank I finished the level, because I feel like that should be a tangible reward for doing good ranks in that.
You're supposed to feel cool. That's the reward.
Instead, they just make you feel bad because you get that E rank and then they play the orchestra poorly, which is the funniest thing they've ever done in any of these games. But yeah, everyone watching during co-hosting just watched it and went, man, I missed this. I missed Sonic games that tried this hard.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah,
because some of them went, why the hell is there like this incredibly expensive CG cutscene playing?
It's like, well, they need to convey a story, and they want to look like a competent, high-budget game.
Oh, yeah, that was another thing that was nice going back to Sekiro. I was like, oh, right, this is like them actually having a story. Just like really genuinely, it's just a story.
And it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I wish Sonic 06 had a modern port. Because even though it's a jank-ass piece of shit, it tries.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and this was like the last time, I feel like, where it's like, oh, it's Eggman's there, but there's still that completely new character style threat with the Dark Gaia stuff. Like, characters are introduced and they actually, like, change or develop in some way. And it feels good even when there are times where it's like, I could do without as many Werehog stages as they have day stages, because they do, in fact, outnumber them by, I think, at least 2. Feel like you could even that out. And the fact the battle theme plays way too much, that's a little bit.
Yeah.
That could be.
I know it lives rent free in my head.
Yeah, and the soundtrack is of course stellar. So it becomes this moment where it's like we make a joke about the fucking Unleashed soundtrack, where it's like there's so many good songs here that I'm not allowed to hear.
Yeah.
Unless I'm doing some puzzle or something for the night stages specifically. Also, Eggman Land, the longest Sonic final stage ever made, is still very long. My clear time was 46 minutes.
I don't know what was wrong with them.
Because for people who haven't seen it, throughout the game, you would hit an hourglass, and then the game would do a loading screen to switch you to the other Sonic type in the hub. This one, they don't do a load screen. You hit it, and then you transform into the other one. So it's like a hybrid level of both types that you switch through constantly across 45 minutes of platforming. And I like this idea. However, there are 2 problems the Sonic Unleashed has. One, this game still has lives. I don't know why. So if you game over, you start over on whatever level you were on. And also, Sonic doesn't have a shadow. So there are certain platforming segments where I'm like, I'd love a way to gauge this.
That's rough.
It feels getting sick when I was doing like some catwalk walking, and the camera kept spinning.
Yeah, it kept spinning the camera or like zooming it in and changing the angle, and I'm like, he's walking on a fucking narrow rail. What is wrong with you? I think I said like we are now at the level of tack.
Yeah, sometimes that shit happens, but I was like, it's okay. I know anytime I'm about to get to a corner or something that's going to require me to turn, they're going to spin the camera first, so I'll just stop and wait for them to be ready. And then we have this contract that I feel like the rare platformers don't have, where you're going to move it then and not at a very critical moment where I'm just like, what are you doing? But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed my time with it. The FPS boost really makes it feel the way it should have, and just visually still looks really nice, even though it's still 720p. But yeah, that was Sonic Unleashed. Definitely, that's your Xbox Series X killer app, by the way.
Yes.
Make sure to.
The amount of people that I know who have bought a Series X just to play Sonic Unleashed is somehow too many to count on one hand.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, 100%.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It is that exact sentiment is flowing through the Sonic community.
That's so crazy. That's a game I didn't even bother finishing.
Dude,
Meanwhile,
fucking bought a Series S for Sonic.
Meanwhile,
it's
Sony's like, Did you want a subscription service for $18 a month to have Who Fucking Cares?
No.
Easiest W in the entire world. And Sony's like, what if we break it and have two L's?
And just even the boost stages in this, I feel like, are generally like more challenging and have more going on. And then I feel like it tapers off a little bit with each game until you get Forces where it's like, you don't even have drifting anymore.
I swear you hit the boost button in fucking Forces and it just goes, it's okay.
Forces has the boost button. It's like you beat the level.
Yeah, exactly. It makes that sound and then it plays the victory theme.
Yeah, the hardest level in Forces is the boost level where there's a 90-degree turn.
Yes, because you have nothing you can do because they stripped everything out.
So you have to come to a full stop, slowly take the turn, and you can keep playing.
They should just keep playing Sonic going, whoa, hey, the whole time you're doing it, just to really upsell how fun it is.
Yes.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that was great to come back to. Also, this week, I played through all of Ghostwire Tokyo on the list of games that came out recently that I did not get to immediately. So I haven't played any of Tango's other games, like the Evil Within games at all. So I can't really post a reference of quality between there. But I feel like this has been really solid. Where the premise is just you wake up in Shibuya and this fog comes in and it just immediately just kills people. Like the fog just only leaves their clothes and their souls, their spirits, and their bodies get sucked out. You get fused with this other ghost who has superpowers named KK, and they're like, "We got to stop Hanya, these evil masked dudes, and this dastardly plan they got going on." So you just end up purifying like these torii gates across the city that opens up a little bit more of the map because this is an open world game, usual just. It's FPS combat, but you're using ninja hand sign like magic attacks, which makes it feel a bit more interesting than you have a gun. They give you three types in this game. You have like a wind attack that's like your standard straight shooting type of thing with a charge shot that can shoot multiple shots that seek in. You have your water shot that is like a horizontal blade. It's more of like a shotgun type of thing that you can charge up to have more coverage. And then you get this fire one that's just a giant explosion that can be charged. And you're cycling between those as you like hit enemies and stuff, or they die. They'll drop ammo for you, and there's a bunch of things floating in the area that you can break that'll give you more ammo as you play. And once you've dealt enough damage to an enemy, their heart or core is exposed, and then you can like shoot spirit strings at them, and then like rip it out. It's kind of like, I guess, their glory kill, but it's a bit more challenging than that because you kind of have to like hold on them for a second or two. So you have to like pay attention to your surroundings so you don't get hit while it happens, or else it resets. So you gotta like work on positioning a bit. Visually, it looks really, really nice. It does a lot of really cool stuff with rain. Like even the rain that's falling down just has kanji instead of like real raindrops falling.
It's like the Matrix. Oh my god.
Yeah. Apparently they modeled this after like Shibuya so well that apparently Japanese players just turned off the compass because they didn't need it.
That's cool.
Because of how well they like mirrored that area. They got a lot of fun different like side quests and stuff that you do in this. It's like some of your basic open world stuff, do some combat, help excise this dark spirit from this apartment complex. And it has some like investigative stuff, like you find a wall yokai that's like trying to block you from finding the correct secret room that it's guarding, and some stuff like that. The story is pretty good too, dealing with like loss, getting over people's deaths and stuff.
Do you have to deal with them like you do in Neo, where it's like, okay, there's the wall yokai, give him a thumbs up and he'll disappear?
Yeah, that is absolutely how those go, and if you don't, I think they hurt you in Neo.
Yes, if you give them the wrong, like there's a different, if you give them a negative thing, like say if thumbs down, then they don't like it.
Oh no.
But some do like it. So you have to judge which one they're going to want. which emote you should do in front of them.
What the fuck was this mechanic?
Yeah, this is a thing where you like enter these like going for like a photorealistic like apartment building. I'm walking through it and I can't seem to find the source of this evil. And then I press the square button and it activates this thing's detective vision where you drop some energy onto the ground. It makes like a highly animated like raindrop sound effect. And then it just reveals that wall with scratches on it. Just has a whole ass gray demon with a giant eyeball and shockingly large toes. And then you just shoot your weaving attack into it and just suck up its energy. Just to clear them out. Generally I just found the game pretty fun to just go through and like fight the enemy. It's really fun to get your fire attack and blow up 4 enemies and see them ragdoll across the screen, and then chain weave kill all of them by shooting your spectral strings out and taking them out. The game has decent enough level design, I feel like, because I feel like in a lot of other open world games they drop a bunch of camps on a landmass and that's it. And actually that's mostly just Halo Infinite, you know. Coming off of that one, it felt really fresh where it's like, okay, this part of the story, you're going inside this building that has multiple floors, multiple sequences that they're doing. And Ghostwire really likes to do, I guess it could be related to like PT and stuff, where it's you're going through this hallway and then fucked up stuff's going to happen around it. Like you're chasing after this dude and he goes into this room, but then a bunch of chairs start floating and create a perfect chair wall that you cannot get past that thing, or random posters materialize, or eyeballs are visually being shown on walls and stuff, and everything warps around. It's really cool in that way, but I wouldn't say this game at all is trying to approach being a horror game. Despite its subject matter, it's more like taking an action type of approach for it. But as it stands, I really enjoyed it because I finished it in 12 hours, and you never have that happen in an open world game, I feel like. Most of the time they end up being like much longer.
Yeah, usually go like 30 or so.
Yeah, where it just I hit a point where I'm like, okay, I've unlocked these things and I'm filling this up pretty fast. I feel like this game would be ending soon, but that doesn't really make sense, and then it just does. I'm like, oh, yeah, we wrapped this up pretty quickly. I'm probably not getting the plat in this because they did the insane thing some open world games do, where they're like, you're going to grind. And I'm like, I don't know if I necessarily want to grind in this game. There are a bunch of spirits that they're floating around the area that you can turn into a phone booth, and they will be transferred off-site to a dude named Ed that you know outside the city, and he will return them to human bodies somehow. We don't know how they're doing that. It's probably in some file somewhere. I assume they based this on how many people would be living in Shibuya in this open world, and they're like, there are 220,000 of these.
What? When you said that, I was like, there's no way. There's no way it's a lie. It's probably like 130 or something. No.
240,300. When I finished the game, I had saved about 26,000.
Can you ping them on the map or anything?
They're just everywhere on the map. Like you'll find them floating around. You complete a side quest, a bunch of them just spawn for you to grab. You just hit L2 and then you suck them up. And then sometimes, like, if you find a crowd of like the visitor enemies, they can throw you in a portal, make you do a fight gauntlet at the end. They'll give you a bunch. So it's just something where it's like, I'm running to my next objective. There's a really quick side quest over here. There's a bunch of ghosts I can pick up. It only takes a couple of seconds, but you only get a couple of hundred each shot, though some of the more complicated ones could give you like 800 or 900. So it's kind of expecting you to grind, and there's a trophy that's just like, beat the final boss having rescued everyone. And I'm like, I'm probably not going to do that. I can grind on some of these, but it's like, I have completed everything else you have, with the exception of minor collectibles. This game also has a Dawn of Sorrow mechanic in it, and I think that's funny. Where sometimes it's like, I need to excise this dark spirit, or there are metal girders that are inside this spirit that I need to get out. And they're like, okay, either using the right stick or the touchpad, create this magic star symbol. And if you do it wrong, do it again. And then when it's done, you hit both triggers. However, they say if you hold down square, you can let KK do it for you at any time.
Okay, I was worried when you said that it was going to be use up this boss soul that you get one of, and then play the whole game again to get used again.
Yeah, thankfully it's just a funny gimmick that's basically only used inside stuff for the most part. But it's really funny that Dawn of Sorrow's mechanic came back.
My brain is so broken from these podcasts that when you said Dawn of Sorrow mechanic, I was like, so luck doesn't work?
I think we both pick out some random small intricate thing from Dawn of Sorrow.
Phil and Bob are Wonder Twins activating the part of my brain that hates Dawn of Sorrow.
And I'm like, they just got
you get to draw the circle.
You draw the circle, and then he does cool finger movements. All the animations on that are so good. When you enter photo mode, your character with both hands, thumb and index finger, just makes the letterbox pose, and then fucking pulls the hands out like, I'm activating my photo arms. It got me. I'm like, that's such a nice flex. The only issues I feel like I have is the game's fairly short, but I still feel like it would have been nice if they had like a fourth shot type beyond wind, fire, and water. That would have been appreciated. You have a bow, but I'm not super into it. And the aiming isn't perfect, and it makes it so one of the bosses is kind of bad. Where that one's like, we want a little bit more precision from you, and also you need to jump these Donkey Kong 64 shockwaves, and I was starting to get a little upset.
So is there a aim down the sights?
No. Yeah, no.
What's wrong with people?
I feel like this might be a game I could play on PC.
Right.
Yeah, probably. Because in the end, you have one of your three tools when you hold it just does seeking shots, and the rest of them are like giant spread type stuff. But there was one boss where they're like, you must hit this target. And I'm like, please don't do this to me.
I say, I think I could play this on PC, and they're like, draw a perfect circle. And I'm like, uninstall.
It might be a lot easier when doing it like that, because I've made some fucked up stuff on this stick, and they're like, you did it. You made a crane.
Beautiful.
And I'm like, are you sure?
Yes.
But yeah, I think this game's pretty good overall. Mainly from the fact that it did not feel like I was playing through filler at any point in the main story of the open world game. Which, I played Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which gives me more context in trying to judge other games in the medium. But yeah, that's all I played this week.
This is super awkward, Bob.
What's up?
I don't want to ask him because I feel like I should know this by now. Does Mr. Field play video games?
Well, I did this week. Actually, I mostly didn't.
I
did all the stuff in the new Genshin event.
Wow. I actually just did all the grinding up to it, and I was like, "What do you mean? It's even more story cutscenes? Please stop."
No, eat all.
Yeah,
these eggs.
they really need to give you the ability to start skipping these, because I'm like, guys, there's like 3 characters in your whole game that I care about on like a hearing them talk level, and none of the others.
Yeah. Well, no, we need to write out fully the economic policy meeting that they are having, and you need to hear it spoken. It's like, no, I don't, man. I really don't.
I really hope another Genshin character goes up on our awards for worst character.
That character was like a NPC, even not even like a real character.
Yeah, I'm thinking Venti might get the nomination. What do you think, Casey?
Yeah, what the fuck is a Venti?
That's the femboy with big bard pants.
Actually, that's a large at a Starbucks.
The events are like the actual activities, like they brought back the tower defense thing but made it sober.
Oh.
Where it's like you're very limited in what you can do with the towers now. Like it's more limited. You can't build like an infinite amount. You can't build any kind you want. There's no longer there's no longer the meta upgrade system where it makes it better across all the games. They also took out the health system. So now you just get points from killing enemies, and your rewards are based on how many points you get.
Oh, okay.
So they made it, they I guess it's technically not tower defense anymore because there's no penalty for letting every single thing get by you, but you don't get anything for doing that, so. And then the other one was just like, here's a puzzle, build a flower display that matches the puzzle, and the other one is take pictures of things that are hinted at in this poem. But that the fun one, it was the dueling one.
Oh, that's actually up.
Yeah, that's one of the ones.
In that.
That's one of. Oh god.
Yeah, eat all the eggs.
But it's you can only play as the traveler, which is the main character. You don't get any of your abilities. They replace your ability with a parry. So it's fight these samurai guys in duels to and use the parry. And it's like if you parry perfectly, you get to do a big cool counter hit. So they have so it's actually pretty fun because they have like patterns and very distinct moves they telegraph. Although they made it insanely easy because it's like even on the hardest difficulty, it's like they have a hit shine, and if you just hit the parry when the hit shine appears, you perfectly parry every single time. It is pretty funny because you go to where the tournament is, which is on like a slightly out of the way island, and it's like, is there anybody here? And the guy's like, yeah, there's me and 3 other people. And it's like, didn't you advertise? He's like, yeah, I put up a flyer, and then points to a flyer 5 feet away on a wall. And he's like, that doesn't seem effective. He's like, well, they said I couldn't advertise anywhere else. And he's the first person you have to duel. And when you get people down to half health, they say something. They say like some line in his is, oh no, the prize pool came out of my own pocket. I can't let you win. There's also actually story stuff that made my like neurons fire in this event. So that was neat. Where you get to find out stuff about Kazuha's backstory.
Ooh.
And there's a minor return of the racist femboy in a minor capacity. Other than that, I mostly have just been like, I have all these characters, I should get them up to speed. So I've been doing that. So I fought the ice flower 45 times.
At least it dies in like 2 seconds.
Oh yeah, because I have like a really good fire team, so it's like it dies in 1 cycle. It takes me like 35. Like I spend infinitely longer time waiting for it to respawn than I do.
Yeah.
Than I do fighting it. I played more Atelier Sophie 2. You can tell this is a filler game because instead of having lots and lots and lots of areas that look wildly different, which is what Atelier games usually do, this has fewer areas that share aesthetics but are structured more like a JRPG dungeon where there's like puzzles and a boss at the end, which most Atelier games do not have.
Huh.
Generally, the structure of an Atelier game is like you have a problem, you have to make something to fix it, make it and fix it. and then that will unlock more areas, and then that will repeat a bunch of times. So there's not usually like go from point A to B through this dungeon and fight a boss at the end. That's actually pretty rare. Atelier Ryza 1 and 2 did it sometimes, but in this game, that's like the core loop. It's like very close to a traditional JRPG structure where it's like you unlocked a new area, go through it. Maybe there's a roadblock in the middle of it that requires you to make something, and then there's a boss at the end. So it's weird in terms of structure. I'm still liking it. God, the fucking crafting system in that game is insane. I don't have enough visual aids to explain it still. Maybe when I finish, I'll take the 45 screenshots I'll need to explain this game's crafting mechanics. God. Because it's in depth, but the game's also structured in like a way that the way the crafting in the game works is you have 4 elements. No, 5, I think. You have fire, lightning, wind, water, and light. So you have 5 elements. And items will need X, and you have a 5x5 grid that you put pieces onto. And the pieces are colored appropriately. So if you're making like a bomb, you can make a bomb, and you can just slap that shit on it and make a shitty bomb. But if you want the best bomb, you have to make sure there's enough fire pieces on it to fill the fire meter on the bomb's crafting chart, which might require like 12 or 15 fire blocks on the grid. So what it does is, and you can't make a perfect bomb initially because you don't have the materials. Because most recipes will require 1 or 2 specific materials, and then 2 to 3 non-specific materials. So for like a bomb, it'll be like firestone plus category flammable. So any item that has the flammable tag, plus a couple other things. And you can't make a perfect bomb at the start because you just don't have the materials that can do that. So it slowly drip feeds you stuff. So it's like, okay, I'll make another bomb late in mid game that has more stats, and bomb late game that has everything. So it encourages you to continue remaking things as the game goes on. Also, thankfully, it include for a long time, for I think a decade at this point, the franchise has had a thing where if your combat items automatically regen when you come back to town, so you don't have to spend all your time making these combat consumables. Because it'll be like the bomb has 5 charges. You use up all the charges and you can't use the bomb anymore. But when you come back to town, it goes back to 5 charges.
Yeah, I was worried about a system like that not existing when I was thinking about a crafting RPG, where I'm like, that feels like that's part of what you would do. So I'm glad that they at least
they didn't have a crafting. They didn't have that system for 4 of the modern games. It wasn't until Atelier Escology that they implemented that system. But the other ones are still real simple, so it's not a big deal.
Oh, okay.
So that's been fun. I also played Super Punch-Out.
Oh, okay.
I was just like, I want to play Super Punch-Out. I like Super Punch-Out. I think I like it more than original Punch-Out, but not as much as Wii Punch-Out.
Yeah. That's the exact right club to join, my friend.
Man, so many smart words coming out of you all at once like that.
I really respect the original Punch-Out, but Super Punch-Out's fucking sublime.
It is, and original Punch-Out feels kind of janky, especially compared to Super Punch-Out.
Yeah.
And Super Punch-Out has great characters like Narcissus Prince, the snooty British guy who won't let you punch him in the face. And if you successfully punch him in the face, he just gets pissed.
Man, I should really play through these games at some point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That would make
that'd be a great. Just make Bob do all 3 in a row.
Oh, dude, that would be fantastic.
Dude, can we get a pink hoodie?
Hey Bob,
what's up?
What's your favorite kind of flower? Mine's chocolate.
Yeah. I literally need to do that. Buy a bunch of candy bars for Dan.
You need to you need to take your Wii and get the demo that you could only get through Club Nintendo.
Yes.
Onto that Wii somehow.
Yes.
Where you actually have to fight Doc, and when you punch his chocolate bar, he gets stronger and faster, and there's no limit to how many times that can happen.
Wait, so that's actually not in the full game?
And then Doc has a time clone.
Nope. That was a special mini game you could only get through Club Nintendo through points.
Oh my god.
That's
evil.
Yeah, it truly is evil when it has the funniest Punch-Out thing ever.
Nintendo has always been off the goop for stuff like that. But that's all I played.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess it's time to praise the Podlords.
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
Whoa.
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 Thank you, Crash.
Yes, that's right. The Podlords. Podlords such as E. Lee Broyles, Corey Brown. For your consideration, C. The Money of Soul and Possibility Control.
Oh.
Red Blaze 27. Rumble Pack Enhanced Juicer Frost.
Nice.
Suzu Shiro. Emperor Zero. Shibuya Ganto. Elflin and Chip having a friendly card game for the title of Ultimate Uke Scrimblow.
Let's fucking go.
The Forest Messenger fell in again. I'm just gonna throw a rope in there so he can climb out himself. This is ridiculous. For anyone who doesn't remember, here's the image. 101 Shades of Wonderful Remastered. WTF Spider-Man. Lugia Wingle version.
What?
Well, you're seeing it from bird's eye view, and it has Wonder Bread.
I was wondering what the hell was in its mouth. Damn you.
Of course.
It's him. It's Mr. Worst Villain of Bleach with his 17th plan of being reborn as an anthropomorphized baby peanut.
No! Yes! Yes! Make
God,
sure to
they're
pledge
so
to find out
fast.
why.
They are. The
They're
Podlords
so
are so fast.
fast.
They're everywhere, always.
I hate this. I hate this so fucking much.
Well, they did.
It's really well done, though.
Yeah, they didn't at you, Dan, which was a part of your rules.
It's really good. It's really good. DFW 3K. Yo, look at this dog. That is, in fact, not a dog. That is still the image of Leia.
Come on, you did the name.
Leave Jinkaria to me.
You see, the way we're gonna take down Jinkari is we're gonna blow up this dam.
I would love it if fucking Days Gone 2 had vampires.
Oh, that'd be good.
Dude!
Game of the generation.
That secret movie is basically like the Days Gone 2 will be Blade 2.
I know. Kristen. You. Hollow Man. Help. They put Toddberry in the jar.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Tonberry. I'm sorry, Tonberry. You have to spend 15 more hours to know what the plot of this game is.
Raido Kuzunoha and Nocturne Figma pre-order waiting room. I finally got the plat for G Genesis. Time for Cyberpunk. Oh no! Pick very unrelated, so it's not included. Kyle Bjork. Maddie Moe. Oh Lord, the Podfuck. Iron Aggro. Blig de Blue. Schligda's Poo. Front facing character of the week, Lenny Leonard.
Oh.
Oh.
Not that bad.
It's 11.
It's okay.
BN12. Monster Hunter. Ryzen and Raiden. I made a terrible, delicious mistake. I've constructed the PB and banana and jumbo honey bun sandwich.
Oh no, not
Bye.
a honey bun.
Good Lord, like just eat sugar.
Yeah, hey,
You know,
hey, you should have it again, but air fry it.
Every time I want to eat a honey bun, I'm like, let me look at the calories on this honey bun. What do you
No,
mean
never do that.
What do you mean it's 650?
Is it really?
look at
I thought
that.
it was 490. Wow. Wow. Huh. Jordan. Cooper. Tank. Every fucking Monday.
Why is smoke coming out?
Kirby. Please stop. I told you, they are not popsicle sticks. Apple Gothic. Bount Arc Apologist.
That's a bad thing to be an apologist. What are you being an apologist for?
Because the bird punches someone, so it's good, actually. Imagine digging yourself out of a cave, right? And the first human being you talk to after having been stuck in the cave for 9 months is like, I like being in a cave. I wish I was in a cave for 9 months.
Yeah, maybe if they were there on ground zero, not 2 weeks before we were done.
Me seeing Xenoblade 3 pull the opposite of a delay.
Yeah, that's fucking insane.
Drive Typecam. Mitzi. Indigo Sykes. I need you to say this from the back of the shipping container Agra records from. Way cool. Well, here's the thing. It's not actually the space that causes that. It's the nightmare future we live in where electronics don't work dependably.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Slurp slurp.
Oh, Cedra.
It was supposed to be Kingdra. In fact, was not, though.
Its ability in this game is Wheat Sniper.
Gluten intolerance.
Yep.
A raccoon that's a part of the jazz band that assaults you with music at night.
Oh.
Forgivable. It's a cute raccoon. Jack Frost went to town and found this Funhee Carho. Who's that Pokemon?
Is that a Yokai Watch character?
I assume it's a Yokai Watch.
I assume it looks kind of bad, so
Yeah, it's kind of a tangent that makes me think.
Yeah, it's not quite like electronic enough to be
you
a
know
Digimon.
Yeah.
you know what? It doesn't look like goofy enough to be a Yokai Watch character. I bet this is from one of those clones that are on PC.
Yeah, because I was like, they already did Digimon. I feel like they're gonna try and do something different. Spectrobes. I just searched. I did reverse image search.
Oh, really?
Yep.
We found you.
I thought they already did Spectrobes.
Don't worry about
No,
it.
Oh yeah, that's totally
that's
Spectrobes.
That is a separate Spectrobes pot lord. They're usually in the front.
Oh my god. Ultra wide 4K gamer cats and ferrets. Virvarm. Work has been a soul grinder recently. Pray for me, please.
I will.
You got
Good
this.
luck.
You will win.
I'm going to say this exactly how it's written, and Podlord, I'm going to need you to fix this by next week if you keep it the same. 8th Generation Heroes. Featuring Ghost of 7th Genman.
This is so much.
That's the guy from The Order.
Uh-huh.
That's Jack from Stranger Paradise, and I guess that's fucking the guy from Killzone Shadowfall.
No, that's
no,
Quantum,
it's not.
That's
Who is
Quantum
that?
Brakeman.
That's Iceman.
Oh,
It's Iceman, baby.
Also, I'm sorry, Podlord. Stranger Paradise came out this year. It's a 9th gen game.
Base.
The Super Mim. Lane's World 25. The Hard M is thinking of a bit. He'll get back to you on that. Sarlene. And Devil Joe with a beard? Thank you very much to our
I
Podlords.
mean, kind of. Next to a beard, maybe.
Thank you, Pickle Lords.
It's
Thank you, Podlord.
It's in the same image. It's with a beard.
Yes.
If you'd like to have a beard, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/GB podcast. For as little as $5 a month, you have access to many benefits such as early access to Chugging Bleach, our Bleach review podcast, extended armchair dev pitches and gamer premonitions for when those shows force us to leave ideas on a cutting room floor, and a patron exclusive show, one per month, where you get to vote on what good or bad thing we have to watch and then talk about. That's patreon.com/GB podcast. And if you don't have any money, you can always help us by telling your friends. And if you don't have any friends, you can pretend to be 15 years old and go back to high school and maybe make some friends that way. Be really careful if you do this one, though. I won't be held responsible for anything that happened.
Man.
Jesus Christ. That's real. So send us a letter with your mom's social security number and credit card, too. Yes, thank you very much to our podlord.
Thank you, Podlords.
Thank you, Podlords.
We got news?
Cool.
We sure do.
I'm going to start blasting. Sonic Origins announces a release date, June 23rd, price $39.99, and an insane DLC chart that we have to talk about.
Oh, God.
But before we do, the Sonic 3 port is being handled by Stealth and a team he's assembled. The retro engine is still being used, but Taxman is not involved firsthand. Now then, let's talk about these other details before we get to the insane DLC chart. There is a widescreen mode. It is separate from the 4x3 mode. They engage unlimited lives if you play in widescreen. This is so weird to not have a separate toggle for that.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, maybe enough people will rabble rouse, but like, oh, we should do that before it launches.
They're like, you don't like this one lever that operates a random amount of toggles? No, not really. That's the point of an option, is for it to be optional. Yeah, but let's get on to the insane DLC chart. Jesus Christ. Okay, character animation and camera controls on the main menu are locked to a more expensive edition.
So if I don't pay more money, Sonic won't move his finger.
It'll be frozen in space.
What?
There is a pre-order bonus called the Start Dash Pack, which is free with pre-orders. It's the only way you can get mirror mode and, quote, letterbox background. It also gets you 100 bonus coins, which this collection has coins, which gives me a stroke because it's a Sonic game.
I don't understand.
I feel like Bob
coins.
God damn it, Bob! No, they didn't.
Yeah.
It's also not rings. There's like a coin icon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's legit a coin.
Literally coins. It's hilarious.
Stroke-inducing.
What is wrong with them?
Everything is wrong with this fucking DLC situation. It's insane.
Yeah.
I do not know what they were thinking. They are not selling a Ubisoft open world game right now. They're selling a collection of 4 Genesis games from 1 billion years ago. But anyway, getting back to the... So how do I... Okay. There is a classic music pack. It includes 73 tracks from 3 other Sonic titles on the Genesis. Technically, one of them's the 32S, but they keep saying it's fucking Genesis. It's Knuckles Chaotix, Sonic Spinball, and Sonic 3D Blast, I believe. 73 songs. They don't say where you listen to it. It might just be in a museum mode.
Right? Like, what do you do with those?
They haven't talked about the ability to customize music in the game. It's really weird, the thought of paying extra for that. There are... 3 different editions. There's the standard edition. There's the premium fun pack, which has the hard missions, letterbox background, character animation, character controls of the main menus, and character animations during Music Islands, which I guess the Music Islands is the music play. And then there's the digital deluxe edition, which comes with everything. I guess the premium fun pack is a DLC way to add the things that are in the digital deluxe edition.
So
in the mirror mode, you can only get by pre-ordering. That's not available any other way.
Why is this closer to sounding like a scheme from Anthem than a
I don't know.
16-bit collection?
I saw this chart.
I don't know what, like...
I don't...
Okay.
I saw the chart, and then I went to pre-order on PlayStation Store, and there were only 2 editions. There was just standard edition, deluxe edition. And deluxe was only $5 more.
Yes.
Why is it some nightmare that they've announced?
I don't know.
Because they're insane. Because they're like, because some Japanese person at that company was like, Western companies do these horrible things. Obviously, we should too.
Yeah, this is nutty.
It's like you're trying to nickel and dime people for this extra $5.
Yeah,
that's insane. It's like
on a $40 collection already. It's expensive.
Yeah, it's already overpriced.
Like, guys,
Absolutely.
It's 4 Genesis games. Technically, one of them is a Sega CD game from 1 billion years ago. 2 of which are great. One of which is Sonic CD, and another of which is Sonic 1. That's the nicest way I could put that. State the obvious objective facts, but frame it in a weird way that makes you think.
It's a fresh take. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
I don't actually like there might actually be changes to these games, at least that you can turn on, because I think they mentioned a couple things, something like remix stages. I don't know if that'll be like I don't know if they're just talking about play all the games in order.
Yeah,
which is the thing they mentioned you could do. I don't know if it'll be minor changes.
I didn't hear about remix stages. I heard about the mirror mode and the mission mode. Mission mode is like, it'll tell you explicitly what to do in a level. And it'll be like, destroy this many of this enemy type and beat the level. And we don't know anything else. We just saw that one screen. But it looks like they have plenty of those.
I thought there was also something about a story mode where they connect everything together and have like cinema, like animated cutscenes.
They have cutscenes.
That is in there.
They have cutscenes at the beginning and end of each game. That's completely new.
Okay,
that I know is true. I didn't know that it seamlessly takes you in between games or anything. Would you really be bold enough to put Sonic CD after 2?
I don't know.
No, that we already know where it goes. We already know it goes 1 CD 2 3.
Yeah.
I honestly was like, wait, they're gonna make me play through Sonic CD to get that? I was like, well, great, I'll play all 3 original Sonic games. What do you mean there's also CD in there?
Yeah, I feel like you could have stuck like the Master System version of Sonic 1 in there, and I would have been like, cool, it's the Full House theme everywhere you look, and that would have been better for me personally.
Yeah, that's like,
I really don't like Sega Sonic CD very much at all.
I was the biggest.
I'll give it another try.
Yeah,
I'm like okay with it being in this collection, but I don't want it to be part of that, like a playthrough of them that has new stuff. Like that sounds like it would sour the water.
Yeah, I was the biggest Sega CD stan in the world growing up, and even I didn't like Sonic CD more than 2 or 3. So I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, they're letting you play as Knuckles in Sonic 1. They confirmed that. In Sonic 3, you could do Knuckles in Tails mode, which is pretty good. But they're not
babysitting mode.
Oh, well, I mean, Tails is very responsible. I'm sure he'll look after Knuckles. But yeah, they're not adding Knuckles to Sonic CD, which kind of sucks. I kind of wanted anything to help make the Sonic CD bill go down easier.
Yes.
This collection seems neat. $40 seems like too much. $30 I would have been fine with. But I'm getting it. And even worse, I might do a button to pixel for it. I don't know.
So it's 40 for the standard?
Yeah.
Yeah, and 45 for the deluxe.
They added enough bonuses in, totally.
Those fuckers are crazy.
When I saw that bold about character animations, I thought that meant like they'd have new animations in the game. Are you telling me that they're new animations on the title screen?
Yeah, every time it says that, it says on the menu.
What?
Yeah, they're not changing these games. I think somebody was like, there might be like Mania-esque skill sets that you can toggle.
Yeah,
like there was something on in one of the screenshots that implied that.
If you see the Cybershell video, there is like a weird, what is clearly an edit icon hanging out in the upper right of Sonic on the character select screen. So maybe that's something that lets you play as different Sonic sprites, like play a Sonic 2 sprite versus 3 sprite versus 1 sprite.
And maybe it's like, okay, you have the Insta Shield from 3 and Knuckles. You have the
who knows?
The spin dash. Maybe you have the super peel out from CD. Maybe you have even the drop dash.
I think someone was saying, "Oh, this is totally a drop dash," and I was like, "I'm not sure." He seems to just be in a ball heading towards the ground. You don't actually see him take off from the ground.
Yeah, it was 4 frames. It's really hard to tell anything at all.
Yeah, the Sonic CD intro and other cutscenes have been touched up by. I guess it might just be the intro because the ending obviously could be replaced by that other thing they were talking about, but who knows? But by people who work at Discotheque.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah, they did a restoration on it and touched it up a lot and actually did manual redoing line work in it. So they really went all the way on that. So that's a really cool thing because they lost the highest quality rip of that intro a little while ago. Like, it's not as sharp as you would want. So getting a restoration like this is pretty cool. Pretty friggin' cool.
I struggle to think of a better looking pick for, we restored this old animated thing. We got Discotheque. It's like, oh, yeah.
Good job.
How I know you, that's how I know you're somewhat serious about it.
Yeah, so $40 is a little high. I think it's an agreeable price. It sucks that I'm apparently going to buy it 3 times. How else do you do a button to pixel?
I guess that's true.
People are like, this is one value in a vacuum. We need to tell you how it performs on the other platforms so we can get mad and be fanboys.
Yeah, that's all they really want.
That's all anyone wants from this. Okay. But yeah, I'm excited for it. June 23rd, sooner than I was expecting.
Honestly, yeah. I think that because they announced this over a year ago.
They did announce it at last E3, so it'll be slightly over a year.
Yeah, so I was like, man, it was completely silent since then, so I thought it was announced even longer ago because these years feel just bizarre and long.
Yeah, that was during that Sonic Direct thing that just showed us symbols for the new for Sonic Frontiers, and all the Sonic 3 footage in the announcement trailer for this initially was 4:3, and all the other ones were widescreen.
Yeah, which makes sense because apparently they only then got, stealth working on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is cool. This is interesting. I hope it's, if I'm reading this correctly, wasn't there a native PS5 version?
I think there was. Yeah, so I think when I went to buy it, it was like PS4 and PS5.
Cool. Please make that control well. Can you make the emulator run at 120 frames per second? I'm not saying I need fresh frames every other frame. I just need it to handshake with the TV at a high frame rate so it feels good. But yeah.
Maybe the retro engine can do that. That seems like the kind of thing it should be able to do.
It actually shouldn't be that hard for any game to just send out its signal at 120 hertz because it doesn't need to finish a frame, a fresh frame at 120 times a second. Like Ratchet and Clank does that 40 frames per second, 120 hertz mode. But yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice if we did our best to make this the definitive best feeling version of this game. Best looking, best feeling. That would be great.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for that. A 32X core came out for the Mister because the season is wrought with fantastic cores for the Mister to own me for investments I made less than a year ago.
Oh no!
Because we had a bunk. If you recall, Bob, we had a bunk 32X where one of the sound chips was fried, and we only found out when we booted Star Wars.
Yeah, I remember.
I was not happy about that, so we bought a replacement one. And before we had a distinct need for it, the Mr. Core came out. Simultaneously good and bad news when viewed through that lens. The core has sound problems. The core has issues right now. I'm sure it'll get better. It's made by a trusted programmer in the FPGA community. But for now, it's kind of broken, kind of janky. Maybe don't.
Probably better than our broken 32X, but that's not a standard.
I don't know. Some things are really weird. I heard, Doom wasn't even running at the correct speed.
Oh.
Yeah. It's fine. I'm sure over time it'll get better. If I remember correctly, Surge, which is the person who made it, SRG 32 or 320, can't remember, is Ukrainian. So, as such, not sure how fast and well communicated updates for that are going to be, given the current situation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Kind of surprised anything came out during the current situation. But yeah, I'm sure they'll get better over time.
Yeah.
Keeping with the retro news, we're going to skip to KZ's news for the Game Boy Advance emulator.
Okay. Nintendo's GBA emulator for the Switch leaked out.
Mm-hmm.
For Nintendo Switch Online. So yeah, they're doing one of those.
It was not only the Game Boy Advance, it was also Game Boy Original. And did you hear the second wrinkle of this insane story?
Was it the Mega Man related part of it?
No.
Or something else? Oh, okay. Then what is it?
So let me see. This didn't end up in anyone else's news. Okay. So I can go ahead and link this for you guys if you wanted to look at a source while I'm also talking about it. But anyways, Steven Totillo talked about how Nintendo fired a Nintendo of America employee that allegedly was... let me put it this way. Nintendo of America has had a report filed against them by a worker at the National Labor Relations Board saying that they were fired for trying to unionize. Later, allegedly, they might have been the person who leaked this and they were fired over that.
That definitely seems to be how a lot of these Nintendo stories go, where it's like Nintendo did this fucked up thing. No, that person was a leaker, or in one case, I think was moonlighting as an erotic cosplayer of Nintendo character.
Okay, I do remember that. And
Yeah.
I'm like, man, why can't we be normal out here?
So, yeah, apparently it was a contractor who, according to Nintendo, told directly to Steven Totillo, Nintendo say they leaked confidential information, was dismissed only for that reason. It had nothing to do with unionizing or whatever. And according to the quote, Nintendo is not aware of any attempts to unionize or related activity. And this all happened right around when this got leaked.
Huh.
So this was a really fantastic week for Nintendo. But yeah, no, Game Boy Advance on the Nintendo Switch Online, that should already be the case.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. It's almost certainly going to be part of that expansion pack, so I'll never try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Also, none of these things have enough games or the right games. It's so embarrassing.
Well,
it's been embarrassing since the fucking Wii.
Yes.
And it's never really gotten to the part where it needs to get to.
Did you hear about the games they added to the Genesis part of the expansion pack today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
An hour ago.
Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. What were the other ones? That one stuck out.
I know one of them was Sonic Spinball because I saw somebody post something about it, so that must have been one.
Yeah,
I think
Sonic
it was
Spitball.
Okay, so it's Spinball, Space Harrier 2.
Oh, God, that's awful.
Space Harrier 2 and Shining Force 2.
Yes.
So there you go. I hope you like Shining Force 2, or you like Sonic enough to overcome Sonic Spinball being actually bad.
Yeah.
Because even as a Space Harrier fan, Space Harrier 2 is awful.
Yeah, no, it's just bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have never made this expansion pass, because even on default, some of the things they're offering here are some real nightmares.
I mean, the Genesis is part of the expansion pass, right? Mm-hmm. And it's only 3 games. They're all really low grade, except maybe Shining Force. I don't know.
Some people like Sonic enough to be like, I need Sonic Spinball.
It's like you should be adding more than 3 games.
And then they play it and are like, and it's like, oh, we're sorry.
They play it, and then the chiptune music just digs into their skin.
You can tell that it's bad when Nintendo stands are like posting the most mind melted things I've ever seen, where it's like, well, it's pointless to add Earthbound because you'd never play it. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, there's just the way they've handled it, especially during the Super Nintendo chunk where that was their newest thing, was all right. Maybe they'll get everything that was on the classic console quickly. And it's like, we didn't get Donkey Kong Country 1 until at least 3 rounds of filler, where I'm like, how are you already hitting like shovelware stuff that not many people are ever going to pop off about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody other than Dan that's like, yeah, Spanky's Quest, boy.
Someday they'll all learn. You know, viewers are calling for Bob's blood. I mean, calling for Bob to beat Spanky's Quest on stream.
No, they aren't.
Yeah, they are.
That's one guy.
That's one guy. And his name is Van Didio Games. We can move on now.
Okay. Okay. You were directing me on my first one. I didn't know if we're still living here. So other news I've got. This came out today. A new Tales from the Borderlands game is happening. Obviously, it's not being made by Telltale, the people behind the first one, because, you know, they died and then came back with new staff. And it's being made internal by Gearbox, which I think kills literally all the appeal of them making another one.
Would it? Like, maybe they still have the same writer.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. I just
like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know if any of the writers, if it was like external writers, which I feel like it might have happened, because it seems insane for us to be like, here's our narrative driven. Because Borderlands was known for writing, so it seems weird if it's just like Telltale, write whatever you want.
Yeah,
but then again, people really liked that one, so maybe it didn't have any of the writers from the other Borderlands.
Yeah,
right.
And one of the main guys from Tales of the Borderlands came back. They did not give Troy Baker his role back, and that character was really bad in Borderlands 3. I was like, this dude just sucks. Like, there's nothing good happening here. So I'm like, this doesn't seem very, very exciting. But we'll see. They say that's coming out this year also. We'll have to see about that. Next up, I've got House of the Dead's remake is coming to consoles that might be able to run it. PS4, Xbox, and PC on April 28th, so a week from now. It was already out on Switch. I watched Maximilian play it and saw the most insane pop-in on the first camera pan, so here's hoping maybe it runs a little bit better on those other consoles.
Yeah, I tuned into that same exact stream for, 20 seconds and went, God, this is hideous.
Yeah, his edited video about it, in the first 10 seconds, he's like, as you can see, we need this on PC as soon as possible.
They sure are keeping up that rep.
Man, stop hiring these guys, Sega, please.
No, our old franchises deserve this.
Yeah.
I like the general confusion people have of like, why the fuck does this have a photo mode?
I didn't think it could somehow get worse than the filters over sprites, but this is somehow worse. because instead of no effort and looks like shit, it's high effort and looks like shit.
As it turns out, incredibly rushed Middle Eastern dev game that is a shit remake. It somehow is worse than a pixel filter.
Yeah. This remake also has like 2 modes where it's like the classic one, then they have the horde one where it's basically impossible unless you have 2 players.
That could be neat.
Yeah. I remember enjoying, I think it was 2. I think it's House of the Dead 2, whichever one where they keep yelling Goldman in that one. I remember playing that one a little bit.
I think that's 2, but I could also be wrong on that.
Yeah, I have vague memories of that. The only like shooter of that type I played extensively that in an arcade was Area 51. Oh yeah, this is we got some interesting stuff here. It's coming out of Bloomberg. Sega is developing big budget reboots of Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio. These are a part of the Super Game initiative to make games that make forever money.
God. Yeah,
They're like, how do we compete with Fortnite? Crazy Taxi.
Wow.
I mean, if it's all right, sure.
It's two different monkeys' paws curling at the same time.
Yeah, no, it was like I read the headline and I clicked on it. I was like, Super Game means gas, games as a service, basically. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
these are going to be the worst games ever made.
Maybe they reevaluated it. Maybe they've reevaluated a little bit.
It'd be
In
nice.
this exact article, they're like, we need to compete with Fortnite. They literally have Fortnite in this.
They're fucked.
Super Game is directly them going, a super game is what Fortnite is for money. So we must make them. Crazy Taxi will make $1 trillion.
I don't understand, like, what? I guess with Crazy Taxi, you could lean into the competitive aspect and have a battle pass and have shit like that. But for Jet Set Radio, like, what, are you making weird graffiti skater Genshin Impact? Because that's the only thing I can think of that would be, like, structured even remotely similarly. Because it's not a battle, like, unless you're just complete, because they say reboot. It's not like Jet Set Radio Battle Royale. Like, so it has to be something that is at least within the ballpark of evoking the game.
Also, I read something else that's like, these are so early on, they might still be canceled.
Yeah, I
And they
think
probably will be.
That.
Yeah.
Like the reporters are like, this is so early.
I didn't put this in the news because it's probably bullshit, but maybe it's not, so I'll talk about it for a second. There was a 4chan post on like Monday that was like, here's a bunch of Sonic stuff they're making, and it's like Sonic Origins. This was before Sonic Origins was announced, and it was like Sonic Origins has this things and will come out this time, and that was right. And it was like they're making another like Mania type game that has Shadow in it was one of the things. They said Sonic Frontiers will be more like Bayonetta, which I certainly have no fucking idea what that means. And then the last one was they're shutting down the Sonic Forces mobile game, and they're going to put the dev on making a Sonic Genshin Impact clone, which would be really funny. I hope that's real.
God.
And somehow its swimming animations are even more crazy than the 7 Deadly Sins Genshin Impact game.
Well, no, it's a Sonic game, so nobody swims, you just sink.
I'm just sitting here thinking about, the hot new character of this season's Battle Pass, Charmy.
Everybody's rolling for Charmy.
Hey, Chad, I'm going to need you to give me $800 so I can get a C6 Charmy.
Dude, that'll be great. I'm getting a C6 Vector.
C6 Vector is respectable.
I know. I've always loved Vector.
And it'll be like, wow, they're putting in Surge from the comics. I have to give them $1,000 to own Ken Penders.
I would love to see Sonic Mania style Shadow the Hedgehog. I want to see the sprite anime like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be neat.
Yeah. So our next truly important news, some of the biggest. No More Heroes 3 is coming to other consoles that aren't the Switch this fall.
Thank God.
Xbox, PS4, 5, and PC. Specifically in describing it like higher resolutions and higher frame rate.
Excited to put it on the Game of the Year list again.
It actually came out this year. Whoa.
Yeah, that was great.
I'd love to see this get other features we know were cut.
I mean,
but I kind of doubt it.
I mean, last year was like the ground zeros to this year's the Phantom Pain for No More Heroes, right?
Right. But yeah, if they put more open world things in the whole map isn't just cut off, obviously, with big red X's, that'd be neat.
That would be super great. There's no way that's happening.
I know.
Yeah. That's. I wish. It'd be great. It'd be great if with this port, the Akira motorcycle sequences are actually good.
Helping them run well will help enhance them greatly.
Yeah, like that would be really nice. But yeah, day one on this, because Lord, I enjoyed that one a decent bit. It running better is gonna fix like one of my most massive problems with that game. And this one was pretty shocking. You don't see this come out very often. You'll see Nintendo fans on Twitter beg Animal Crossing to do this. But we got Xenoblade 3 with a new trailer, and they pushed it forward like over a month, I think.
That's insane.
July 29th.
Why would you not want the little bit more, like, you get a PR boost from this. But why wouldn't you want the extra time to polish the game more?
It's a Nintendo game. This shit's been done for months.
Yeah, it's done, and then there's almost certainly something else you're going to announce that comes out in September. That's all I got.
I mean, I assume
maybe they announce a hardware platform that would kill the sales of this game if it came out when they planned.
That would be funny. I don't expect that's it. I think it has to do with they just disappeared Advance Wars. So they would like to move this forward in case maybe later this year looks a little bit better for that. They can launch it in a little bit emptier area.
I was thinking that.
I have trouble thinking they'd move this for Advance Wars.
They moved it for their fiscal shit. But
yeah, there were rumors that came out like last year that this game was almost done even then.
Yeah.
So this makes sense. But also I feel like maybe Splatoon 3 is going to take a little bit more time. So things are shifting around with some of their other new titles that aren't ready yet. And they're like, this game's ready.
Yeah.
So we can just own this month. This can be that thing we place there.
Yeah.
So that was like a good opportunity for them.
Nintendo's like the only publisher with a track record of having a game done for months before shipping it.
Metroid Dread.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, what a fucking finished game they gave us. Jesus Christ.
I know, right?
What a banger. This trailer looked cool. It showed some snippets of gameplay. Characters confused together to make cool monster things.
Yeah, one of them's like a mech, and it's one of the insane people I follow on Twitter, insane about Xeno blank, is like, yeah, the face of this thing is just the face of the mech from Xenogears. Here's a comparison.
Takahashi.
I'm like,
wins.
Jesus.
I kind of expected this, but this game is running really bad, even in the trailers. Insanely bad.
Yeah. It's what I come to expect for it to look and move like that.
That's how you know it's pushing boundaries.
2 has backwards compatibility.
Yep. Someone went, yo, that thing in the background is going at a higher frame rate than I expected. This is pretty impressive, which may be the funniest thing I've ever seen someone say about one of these.
It's really weird to look at my my 2022 iPhone SE and be like, this is 4 times as powerful as the Switch.
I might go crunch those numbers right now just to see.
Dan, don't crunch those numbers. I got that last week. I don't need to think about that in particular. I'm glad this is coming out earlier. These games are long. I need as much time.
Yeah, but I need that time to play Xenogears, finish Xenoblade 1 remastered, and play Xenoblade 2.
No, you don't. Just skip.
Wait, what
it's
about
fine.
X? Where did X go?
You do.
Bob, there's no way I'm skipping Xenoblade 2. I'm going to play that game and then give it a 10.
Yep.
What about X?
You will not give it a 10.
Why is no one?
Big Xenoblade 2 fan, you will not be giving that a 10. You probably hit it like an 8.5.
I'll give it a 7, but then whenever somebody shit talks, they'll be like, actually it was a 12.
Some cutscenes are a 10, so I'll take that. But yeah, I'm glad that this isn't psychotic like when Xenoblade 2 came out and they're like, here's this massive game. And it comes out December 3rd. They're like, you need to get in the first year so that this can be the most insane Nintendo year that we can never match again. But yeah, that was that coming out early is very exciting. I hope nothing else is coming out on that day. So the long, multiple delays, Digimon Survive's coming out the same day as Xenoblade 3, which I think is hilarious. God damn it.
Isn't that the one that we're like, yeah, it's actually a 120-hour long visual novel?
Yes. That is the visual novel one that is also a tactics RPG with like what looked at the time to be like hand-drawn animated Digimon sprites. Kind of like a Disgaea.
Weird.
It's been in development for a while. And then they finally did some information on it like a few weeks ago at a Digimon like official con, and now we got the official date. I'm like, fucking Xenoblade traveled through time to cuck this video game.
I don't think they're that like this seems almost silly to me to be like, no, it's gonna kill the other. I'm like, no correlation, circles not attached.
Yeah, but
is it on the Switch?
But it's funny to think that way. Yes,
maybe, but it's also on other things. So
okay. I guess it at least has that armor, because I feel like JRPG has a bit of overlap in general with that.
I think Digimon fans are insane and will buy it and they just won't play it until after Xenoblade.
I mean, Digimon fans are crazy. They still exist, and it's the year 2022.
I mean, Digimon is still a big franchise that gets animes every year. Bob, one is running right now. It's called Digimon Ghost Game.
Yeah.
We go now to Bob's news. Bob, you have something on this list that I was hoping no one would talk about.
Which one?
Now I want you to guess which one it is, and then I'll let you know if you guess correctly.
Is it the Outriders expansion pack coming out?
No, because of course no one knew about that, but go ahead and talk about that.
What? Today they announced Outriders World Slayer, which is a new pay-for expansion to Outriders, the game everyone's forgotten about already.
Yeah.
It has some cool-looking enemies and stuff. I don't know.
Okay. Yelled from the rooftops they would do nothing with this game after launch. They're like, it's not a service.
Well,
it's an expansion pack, Casey.
Yeah, it's an expansion pack. It's not a game as a service game. We swear. We will not give you anything except expansion packs.
Yeah, I know, but they also said something that's like, we're moving on to other games and projects after this, and I'm like,
yeah, one of the other projects was an expansion pack for Outriders.
God damn it.
Me sitting on a park.
What a great idea!
You know, all I can think about at this announcement is the AVGN video for the Sega CD. No, not the Sega CD, it was for the Jaguar. It was for the Jaguar, where he says, you have a game console not many people own, so you release a peripheral that requires you to own the first game console. And that's how I feel about this, where it's like, you're releasing an expansion pack for a game nobody owns.
It might still be on Game Pass.
It was on Game Pass.
It's people who play things on Game Pass don't tend to spend $30 to $40 on expansion packs.
According to Phil, they definitely do.
Yeah, they keep screaming from the rooftops, Game Pass players spend so much money!
Yep.
Okay, Dan, I'll take another swing at this.
Okay.
The new Star Wars game, manned by Amy Hennig.
No, I did not. And Bob, it is referred to as Woman. That is definitely how you phrase that for female manning projects.
Say headed up by. I don't want to say it's been woman.
Bob, why don't you want to give credit where credit is due? Are you trying to erase women, Bob?
Clearly that's it.
But no, it was not.
Gamer Premonition, will this game be canceled?
Oh God, I hope
say yes.
not. I'm gonna say no. Just to hope. I think the EA machine is what caused all the problems so far. I don't want to believe there's a headed curse.
Right. But this is her company, Skydance New Media.
Uh-huh.
Working directly with Lucasfilm. to make a richly cinematic action-adventure game.
Cool. I think people who like Star Wars might like one of those. Bob, Game of Premonition isn't coming out.
Please, yes.
Okay, KZ?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
We'll see you in 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's all close.
Yeah. Oh yeah, what has me a little concerned. I tend to be more an optimistic person, but this part has me a bit concerned. She confirmed in October that they're making a fucking Marvel game over there. What do they do? They're making 2 AAA games.
Yeah, I think there's a third one that's confirmed as well. Like
oh my lord,
a project that's like their own IP. So it is scary. Like I don't know what's happening over there.
Man, that's weird.
It'd be great if they just execute on it. She's like, I need to make up for lost time where I was just surrounded by people that didn't want video games to be made. So I just decided, here's that Star Wars game that I tried to make for 10 straight years or whatever. Felt like it.
So no, Bob, that was also not it.
Okay. The Ghostbusters VR game?
Yes, I literally didn't want to talk about this.
That's fair. I watched the trailer.
I looked at it and got really bummed out.
It's for
I gotta see this.
The MetaQuest 2. So it's exclusive to that. Now get this. It's made... It's made by N-Dreams, who's done a few other VR titles in cooperation with Sony Pictures VR.
Oh, cool.
Come on, Sony. Put this on the PlayStation. What's happening?
No.
This shit. Maybe they realize what this game is going to be, and like, we don't need that actually. Or maybe they're just sitting on it until the PSVR 2.
Maybe they just want to announce it.
They just want that paycheck from Meta because Meta's willing to bleed money for a big IP.
1, this looks bad. 2, this looks like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes, it does look bad.
Dan, you played VR games.
Yeah.
You played a decent bit.
Uh-huh.
Do all VR games look like this, or is this the fakest video game trailer I've ever seen?
Usually trailers for VR games look nothing like this.
It's just the way they were wagging everything in there. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, this looks really pre-rendered. Like really, really not normal gameplay.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't put motion blur on it at all in the headset. That would make you puke.
Yeah, I noticed there was an insane amount of motion blur just watching it, and then I tried to get still images to post on Twitter. It's like, oh my god, it's so hard to find anything that's not just a blur.
Yeah.
But this is set in San Francisco at the brand new setting for the Ghostbusters, new team. It's a 4-player co-op game, or you can play it through a single player. It's supposed to be a new part of the Ghostbusters franchise and expand things out.
Cool.
Sony, we need to talk.
Uh-huh.
Nobody gives a shit about the Ghostbusters outside of the 4 guys.
But
I'm sorry.
But Bob, I found out recently why they called it the real Ghostbusters. Would you like to know?
Sure.
Apparently, Ghostbusters was an already owned IP that some company let them use for the movie.
What?
The name was already trademarked. So when they went to make the cartoon, that company that let them use it for the movie raced them to the market with a shitty cartoon named Ghostbusters. So they fucking called it the real Ghostbusters to be like, come on, look at that other shit. That ain't us. This is us.
Did Toy Galaxy make a video on this?
Yes, of course.
Okay, I'd known about it before that, but I'm like, this seems like a Toy Galaxy video anyway.
That is like 30 years of me wondering, what the fuck was with that?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's so insane and kind of funny. They're like, we'll beat you there.
I'm like, oh.
What was that other Ghostbusters animated show that had like the Goss Girl and like the guy
that
in
was
wheelchair?
the Extreme Ghostbusters,
Okay.
which was supposed to be a sequel to the first cartoon.
That was cool. I feel like there's the capacity to make a Ghostbusters thing that is appealing to the mass audience without having the main guys, but you need at least one to like carry on the torch.
Yeah.
You need to bridge the old with the new.
Right.
Maybe not as aggressively as Afterlife apparently bridges the old with the new. Maybe a little bit less aggressively than that one.
Well, let's look at it. What actor could we get that's still alive that was a Ghostbuster? Never mind.
Hey, I think
Dan
you could get I think you could get what's
Ernie
that
Hudson?
man's name? Ernie Hudson. Yeah, you get Ernie Hudson.
The funny thing is I'll never forget the actor's name. Can't remember his character's name for shit.
Winston.
Yeah,
Zedmore?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that he'd be a good. Good point.
I'm now realizing I don't remember a single Ghostbusters name other than Venkman.
Peter Venkman is
Venkman, Egon Spengler.
Oh yeah, Egon. Yeah,
Egon Spengler, Peter Venkman, Winston Zedmore, and who the fuck was the?
I don't know.
Ray.
Who was the Dan Aykroyd character? Yeah, Ray
and hot secretary. That was her name, right?
Ray Liotta.
Ray Stantz. It was Ray Stantz.
Yeah, there you go.
And the secretary is Janine Meltzitz. Janine Meltzitz.
Close.
Man, if only we explored Ghostbusters and the media thereof a little bit more intricately. Look forward to April 2023.
Yes. Finally, I win.
Yeah, Dan would win too much.
Watch the fucking one movie.
Okay, Dan, have fun playing the NES version of Ghostbusters.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that. Yeah, Bob grew up with that shit. I'd be okay with playing the Genesis one. The Genesis one seems a little bit more tolerable. I don't know though. I'm a little scared. What about the Game Boy one? Did you know
that one's apparently good?
Yeah,
they also released it on NES, I think.
If I remember, the Game Boy one wasn't even originally a Ghostbusters game, but maybe I'm crossing my wires.
There's a Game Boy one that is just a Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle game.
Yes,
weird. It was one of those.
Yes,
and I think there was a Ghostbusters NES game that was also on Game Boy. Maybe it was later ported to the Game Boy Color.
Huh?
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
All I know is Neil Cicierega has done more damage to my brain in relation to busting makes me feel good than anything else ever has.
That's fair.
I can't think of that theme song without hearing the insanely loud snore sound effect he edited in. Anyway.
One more thing on this game.
Sure.
It's really weird to me that the Proton Pack now looks like it's from Aliens, the movie. It looks way closer to something like that than what I think of when I think of Proton Pack.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, and then there's also your teammate who is, maybe she's a furry. I don't know. She's in that bunny outfit. It's really strange.
FNAF outfit.
Yeah, he tweeted that image. It's a really fucking weird image. I don't know what's up with that outfit.
Yeah, I'm like, that seems like what they just, because this is clearly like a pre-made CG sort of thing. This isn't just someone to play gameplay. Like,
right.
This is your introduction to that character, and I guess she just is like that.
They were like, take off your onesie and get in the fucking outfit. And she's like, no. And I'm like, okay, we'll put it on over the outfit.
Right. Yeah. God,
I just thought I'd post it to the Big Think channel in case anyone wanted to see.
It's so weird.
It's weird, too, because texturally the hood kind of makes it look like it's approaching Pinata tier.
Right?
I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking with that, but
I got some other news here.
Cool, great.
We heard about more about the Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series, which is their like collection of the first two games.
Mm-hmm.
It comes out July 8th. It's going to be like PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, PC. So it's even got the PS5 version, which I was like, whoa.
What the fuck do you mean there's no Switch version?
Yeah, I know, right?
No, there's a Switch version. There's a Switch version. I've already seen people selling it physically, I think.
Yeah,
because America doesn't get a physical version.
There's no fucking way.
Whatever article was like, yes. I did not see a Steam or a Switch version on
Okay,
that.
yeah. It's got a fucking Switch. Okay.
No game starring a Scrunko is going to skip the Switch.
Right? But it's got revamped graphics, adjustable difficulty settings, and they showed like full menus so you can like adjust damage values and stuff like that. Like it's pretty fine grained.
They're like, you can play in 16:9 with unlimited lives or 4:3 with mono sound.
And also adding 2-player co-op, which I did not expect.
Cool.
This is
with who?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just another Scrunko.
Dark Scrunko.
Yo!
But yeah, it's being developed by Monkey Craft, who worked on that Wonder Boy Asha and Monster World remake.
Yeah.
And Katamari Damacy Rerolled.
That's weird. Reroll?
Yeah, that's the remaster.
Yeah, it's just the port.
It's just some weird.
I mean,
and they also
fixed at 30 FPS port. Whereas, Wonder Boy and Ash World's a full 3D game made out of the 2D original Genesis game.
Right. And then they also did some work on that a Little Witch Academia game.
The VR one?
No, the one on the PS3 and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It was like weird.
Wait, PS3?
Was that on the P? I think that was on the PS.
Maybe it was the PS4.
I was like, Bob, that's got to be PS4.
was
My
PS4.
timeline's about to start folding on itself.
Yeah. It was PS4.
I was about to start turning into dust.
Little
Yeah,
Witch
that came out in
Academia, you know, the
2017.
retro anime.
It kind of needs getting there.
It's 10 years old.
Welcome to We A Boomers.
But that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm still very excited for that. When I think about that game, I go, wahoo.
Right? Like, I'm excited. I haven't played all the way through either of these.
It's the one Scrimblow Bimblow I have not played at all.
That's good.
The last piece of news I got, they announced that TMNT game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, is going to get the full, like, the voice actors back from the 1987 cartoon show for the Turtles. They didn't announce for everything else, but they said that all the Turtles are coming back, which is pretty crazy.
I feel kind of bad because I was like, would they get April O'Neil? Would I know if they did?
Yeah, I'm also in that situation of I didn't watch a ton of this cartoon growing up, so those voices are not ingrained on me.
The voices that are going to stick with me is Leonardo, Donatello, and Mikey. I think you could switch Raph and I wouldn't know. They can't get Shredder for obvious reasons.
That's Uncle
James
Phil.
Avery.
Yeah. Incredible actor.
Bad.
Yeah, it was it was reminding me they did that. The TMNT 2003 show did like a movie where all the 80s turtles show up, and it was so sad they didn't get the original actors back for that.
Ooh, that's
because poor kids was like anti-union, and they also weren't willing to pay for the rights for the soundtrack of the original show, so they had to compose something similar enough. So I'm actually glad that
Wait.
Yeah.
That means Leonardo's gonna be Cam Clark.
Yeah, I was going to lead into a joke of 4 Kids just doesn't want to work with terrorists. Because he's Liquid Snake.
I'd never have known that. That's great.
Mikey's like, I don't know what we're going to do here. And he's like, have you ever heard of the tribe of the Inuit people?
They might get April O'Neil back because she came back for the CG cartoon as April O'Neil's mom, which I think is funny.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's neat. Yeah. I looked at the gameplay of this because they put like another little gameplay snippet along with this announcement. God, this game looks great.
Yeah, it looks really incredible. This is the most excited I've been in a TMNT thing anytime recently. Mostly because the way modern networks air television shows means I have to pay a shitload to buy it per episode on a weekly basis from iTunes or go fuck myself.
Yeah.
And pray for a Blu-ray. So
I wonder if
just
that
have
ever
to
got
not
put on
care.
like Paramount Plus or something. Wherever Nick
don't
Tuff
know.
goes.
I mean, Paramount should be where Nick stuff goes because Paramount's Viacom, if I'm not mistaken.
Right? And
Yes.
Thus the SpongeBob and shit.
oh, right. That's where we watched that awful Rugrats thing.
Yes.
Yes, the Rugrats reboot where it's like, oh God, please stop moving.
Oh, I need to check that out.
No.
Yeah, yeah, you know what? A few minutes, yes. Just so
That's
you
all you
understand what's happening. Yeah, I'd like to try that one TMNT show that unfortunately got canceled where the animation looks absurd.
Yeah, actually, a viewer GigaBoots worked on that.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that show looks absolutely nuts. Once again, I would have checked it out if it weren't buy each episode a la carte on iTunes.
Right.
Yeah,
and then pray for a fucking box set. And it's like, oh, come on.
It's really unfortunate when they canceled that, but they were like, well, we learned we were being canceled, so we just did the final battle now, and it looks insane. And they're like, if we ever got renewed or a revival, we would just make a bunch of episodes that are before that episode.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a good idea, honestly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would prefer something like that than cliffhanger. We will never see it again.
Yes, that would be Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That is the one with the CG stylings and pretty neat.
Yeah. Because clips of the fights on appeared every time a new one happened, and they always looked nuts.
But that's all my news.
Okay. Let's move on to Feel.
Let's just start at the top. A Streets of Rage movie has been announced. It's being produced by the same company that did the Sonic movie. The John Wick creator is on script.
Cool.
That could be really good.
This might be really cool.
Yeah.
They don't need to add in human characters to hide the because they're ashamed of the Sonic the Hedgehog or anything.
World of Warcraft Dragonflight was announced, the 9th expansion for World of Warcraft. It includes a new...
I missed this entirely. That's insane.
Something about that was very Mike Stacklasa Plinkett style. What?
What do you mean? The game's 20 years old, Bob. They do one every 2 years. Of course, there's we're on the 9th expansion.
Yeah,
pack.
I know. I'm not even surprised we're on the 9th. I'm just like, how did I miss this got announced?
Oh yeah, they even announced the live stream and went, oh no.
There's going to be a new hero class. I forgot the details. It's a healer / ranged magical DPS. Okay. There's a new race. They're dragon people. It's really obviously we need a hot race to entice anybody who went to Final Fantasy 14 to come back.
Good luck.
Good luck. I've seen how the Warcraft looks.
They're reskins of the Blood Elves, so they're not even meaningfully new looking.
Oh my God.
They just stuck scale textures on the arms and legs and horns on the Blood Elves, and that's pretty much what they look like.
I should have figured, given how they're on fire constantly forever, that they could not even create a new design entirely.
They're also please, we're fixing it. We're sorry. We're not doing that thing where we give you an item you have to level up. That's where all your expansion powers come from. We're actually fixing the fucking talent systems and making your characters stronger. We're fixing crafting after we fucked that up too. Please.
Jesus.
So that's pretty funny. I will not be playing it.
Real quick before we move on. The CG1 KZ was referencing, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, is the 2012 television series. The new one that came out somewhat recently, 2018 to 2020 or something, that was insanely well animated. That was the 2D one with some CG backgrounds and stuff.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah, that one looks so fucking good. By the way, I have been trying this whole time to see, can I buy this on physical media? No shit. To fuck with me, they were interested in selling me 2 DVDs of random episodes. I fucking hate this shit.
But
it is on Paramount Plus, of course.
There we go. Have some reason
for media.
That newer show was called Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yes. Hopefully it is the one where they become the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It is, in fact, that.
I believe the final episode, they may, in fact, become the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's how Tomb Raider does it.
Let's cut to the other Blizzard Activision thing. So Sheryl Sandberg, who was the social media executive at Facebook, apparently repeatedly interfered to keep the Daily Mail from writing about Bobby Kotick getting a fucking restraining order put on him because he's insane. Her boyfriend is Bobby Kotick.
I gotta start reading through these so I don't get shot like this.
Yeah, this sucks.
Yeah.
Please look forward to Overwatch 3 being announced. So one of the developers on Marvel's Avengers did a Reddit Ask Me Anything this week. They're like, we are no longer putting out roadmaps, which means the game's basically dead.
I heard that they're still putting in Girl Thor.
Yes,
they probably are. Because that was on a previous roadmap, but the fact that they're not we're not committing to months of content ever again,
right?
Is this shit's about to go off the cliff.
It's definitely dead. But
it's not Girl Thor. It's Thur, as in her with the T.
Okay.
Yeah.
I freaked out when they did this because, or when I saw the announcement of this, because I was like, are we seriously doing an Avengers game and 3 of the actor characters were all Hawkeye and now you have a second Thor? What's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, there was some leak last year where the voice actress just said she was She-Hulk and then nothing came from it. So it's why are they all doubles?
Don't know.
Why are they all? Why is every single one of these doubles?
That's insane.
That's so depressing.
The only one that is new from the ground up of my recollection of the game,
Black Panther,
is Spider-Man and Black Panther.
Yeah.
I was like, did they add War Machine yet?
No, but they should.
Free MMO TERA, which you have maybe recognized from pornography on the internet.
Yeah,
and probably have seen screenshots of, is shutting down in June.
Oh,
Wow. Yeah, I actually played this back when it came out.
Yeah, Tosh and her friend played it too.
Yeah, it's been around for 11 years. It's just rough time for MMOs, I guess. Hey, KZ.
Yes.
It's me, the book from It Takes Two.
Yeah.
The It Takes Two movie is now in development at Amazon with production company $7 on board. That's Dwayne Johnson's company.
Great.
Phil,
Kevin Hart will be in this movie.
Dan,
I despise you.
Dan, me and you playing through that game were like, wow, this sure is a Hollywood movie from the 90s.
So it's perfect for a movie.
Yeah, it's like, ugh. That's disgusting. I can't believe they did it.
Also, I'm not shocked. Joseph Ferris was like a filmmaker before making games.
Can't wait until it inevitably shows up on some content we have to do.
Oh yeah, 100%. You made a tweet that's like, KZ fears my fucking book voice from It Takes Two, and the first two replies I saw were understandable. And I was like, thank you, people.
Every time he does it, I just hear the strong bad music in the background, like on the shitty keyboard, the do 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 do, like he's teaching you how to draw Trogdor.
Yeah, I really don't need that. I already saw like the footage of Joseph Ferris doing the animations for the book and shaking his ass. I'm like, I don't need this awful character anymore.
And the final thing isn't game news, but I wanted to laugh at Netflix.
Yeah, that's fair.
So Netflix reported its first quarterly loss of subscribers and then said we're going to lose 2 million more. Then their stock dropped 50%.
It's a lot.
So somewhere in the ballpark of like $55 billion was wiped off them in one day. In response to this, they basically gutted their entire animation department and canceled every single thing that they had in development there, including but not limited to a thing by Lauren Faust, who created My Little Pony Friendship is Magic and also worked on the Powerpuff Girls and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and also the animated adaptation of the comic Bone. So, Netflix is going through a rough time. I say gone within 5 years. Bought and dismantled, because companies don't go out of business anymore. They just get absorbed.
I feel like they won't disappear in 5 years. It's gonna take a little bit longer because they're the Coke of streaming platforms.
Yeah.
But I do think this is, we constantly talk about Netflix never really made a lot of money, and there was just the constant confidence that this sort of subscription model would just work out. And that's why we're kind of critical of these sorts of platforms that don't sell a product but sell a subscription and then spend shitloads of money getting content. Because this is the turning point now. Like, this is the inflection point for Netflix where people stop believing in the myth. And in modern capitalism, the myth is the value.
Oh, God, it's true.
Now, Dan, don't worry. Netflix has a plan to save everything. They're going to crack down on password sharing and start putting ads in.
Wait, that doesn't sound like saving anything.
It sounds like we're throwing it right in the waste bin. What happened?
Yeah.
I honestly, it's like they don't see the correlation to their constantly ramping up price and lacking content. Like,
no.
Maybe people just drop off after watching all the content they binge.
No.
And some of their most hyped content is actually some of their worst content.
Yeah, it's insane.
Check out our big tentpole show of Cowboy Bebop.
It says a lot that the things I've liked the most out of Netflix anytime recently were both really low budget comedy things. Auntie Donna's Funhouse and Saturday Morning All-Star Hits.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
They used to have high budget or at least interesting animated shit that I was into, and now it's just like, not really.
We got Big Mouth.
Yeah, we pay for some anime each year.
We have your JoJo's fans by the nuts, right? But that's it.
Even then,
don't worry. Yeah, even then with the way they do it now, you're not going to keep them. They'll just pop in for a month and then pop out for a month.
Right, and then they don't even have like immaculate back catalog anymore. Like, I was watching this Pokemon Sun Moon anime and it just left earlier this month. I was like, oh well, I guess I don't have any reason to keep Netflix anymore.
Yeah.
Whenever I don't whenever I want to watch something old, Netflix is never what has it.
No, not anymore. They used to be those people, but
yeah, now I'm much more likely to find it on Amazon Prime or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, unsurprisingly, HBO Max, the one based on a really successful TV channel that knows how to do shit, seems to be the most competent streaming platform at the moment.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, whether or not Apple TV Plus was successful, we wouldn't fucking know. They're like the richest company on the planet. They could spend $2 billion on it and lose it every year, and we wouldn't know.
They're doing something even blinking. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's nuts. But yeah, I feel like HBO Max definitely has had the most competent offering as a streaming platform and catalog. Paramount has had the worst service, but they kidnapped all of Nickelodeon.
Right?
They did.
Yeah. And then there's Disney Plus with all the Marvel stuff. That's
all Star Wars stuff.
Don't
worry, guys. Don't worry, guys. Netflix is spending $360 million on the newest season of Stranger Things. That'll work out.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not just who's already a fan of Stranger Things will continue watching it. Literally no one knew.
Dude, even sometimes stuff like that, people grow past it. Like, do you think everyone who's into House of Cards at the beginning was remotely even still there when shit went down?
No.
Like, these things, people get out of stuff, right?
Right.
Don't worry, Big Mouth season 7 will save it.
that live action One Piece will save them. That's still happening, right?
God, that's gonna be I'm pretty sure it is. But then don't worry, it'll be canceled 3 days after it comes out.
This means Netflix will not survive to see its Yu Yu Hakusho thing get greenlit.
There's not a chance of that shit coming out.
I think that shit will come out and it will literally be their swan song.
What a funny swan song!
It's very fitting, actually.
It'll be a swan song that instantly becomes lost media because they don't put their shit on DVD.
I know, it was really funny when you mentioned that about the fucking Bebop Netflix is going to become lost media.
I really hope that whenever they do crash, or if they crash, being nice, that all the licenses for various animes and other shows they have get let loose and someone else can pick them up. I'm still waiting for Blu-rays for Little Witch Academia.
I assume if the contracts are half competently written, then yeah, that's included in the clause.
Yeah, that's what'll happen,
right?
You would think,
but the live action original shows never ever. Stranger Things will be gone forever.
But yeah, it looks like from the information I'm looking up that their shares fell 35.1% on Wednesday. That's a lot of value.
Yeah, when I saw the headline that was like, they suffer a big stock loss and they could lose 50% more later. I'm like, oh my God.
If this spells the end of like this streaming madness, that sure would be great.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, KZ, this is the only time we've ever done this, but to get this across to the audience, I want you to include this image. That's a really good scale, Google.
Dan?
Yeah.
Dan?
The chart starts at 200, so it just looks like it hit the ground.
Dan?
What's up?
I'm considering, because we have a new thumbnail style, of just putting that image on the left.
Oh, sure. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
The idea is where it's like, I want a character from whatever piece of news that we're covering on Big Think each week. But this one's just a stock grab. I'll put the Netflix logo on it, too.
Yeah, this is, that's a lot of fucking money to drop.
But between that and I've been using Netflix to watch through Breaking Bad again, and just seeing the reminder of, in May we're charging you $20. I'm like,
yeah,
are you insane?
Yes.
Who do you think you are, Sony?
I'm not watching a new thing from you ever.
Yeah, they put BoJack in the fucking earth. I'm basically done with Netflix. God. Oh, it's cool. BoJack's animation studio is trying to unionize. That's great. Weird the show ended.
How'd that happen?
Huh. Weird.
That's weird. Yeah, a bit strange.
Ah, man.
Speaking of streaming service, I think it's really funny that Disney Plus finally is adding R-rated content to their catalog. But if you opt in, they make you solve a riddle and make you put a passcode that you must use every time you open the app.
That's so stupid.
That's dumb.
on a new device, because they're like, we have to make sure no one gets mad that children might watch fucking Netflix Daredevil.
The really hard stuff.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we don't want to see what he does with that car door. That 8-year-old can't see it.
Now, somewhat related, I'm going to point out the GigaBoots Podcast Network has not raised their base price from $5 once, and you can still watch Isolation 119 on the GigaBoots Podcast Network. Our catalog hasn't shrunk at all.
Yes, in terms of things that we have film rights to, that is still there.
Yep.
We have more worthwhile content than Netflix does.
Yeah.
I think we might be able to acquire the movie Bright soon. I don't think Netflix needs it anymore.
But yeah, that's it for news this week. In the next week, Bob and I will play video games.
Wow.
We will be wrapping up on the day this goes up. We will be wrapping up second gen on Poke Mondays, and we will be joined by guest artist Tosh from the illustrious GigaBoots.com. Very excited. Her drawings were so good during the timing that she got multiple different people, because I posted it at the end of Poke Mondays last week because she was just testing her ability to draw in that time. They were like, but she spent extra time on this, right? I'm like, no, she spent 10 minutes.
No, Tosha's an artist, unlike me.
I'm like, maybe you don't fucking understand. Also, she's got Pokemon on the brain. Somebody already said it was cheating because she remembers what the Pokemon look like.
Right? Yeah, how dare she?
That is true.
That is very true.
The appeal is that Bob doesn't remember every Pokemon, so sometimes it's like getting shot.
At the same time, the appeal with Toast drawing this is I don't have to see anything like Bob's Politoed ever again.
I don't know what the problem with Politoed was. It was powerful.
It's a nightmare is what it is. That thing might as well be a Kusama Lagoopa Goop. It's fucking terrifying.
Great goop.
Kusama Lagoopa Goop.
Anyways, that's basically it for the next week. Stream on Friday as usual. Casey, what are you up to?
On the normal week, I'm gonna try and get through the new Kirby game. I still haven't played it yet, so I'm gonna finally check out
Kirby
Forgotten
and the
Land.
Throat Goat.
I'm ready to see that Throat Goat. By the time this comes out, the stream will have happened. But I did a full death stream and the full title is Tales of Game Studios present Chef Boyardee's Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, Chapter 1 of the Hoops Barkley saga. This is the iconic JRPG starring Charles Barkley in a post-apocalypse.
Yes.
Okay. I highly recommend people check that. That game is free.
Yeah, one of the depressingly like in the top 5 RPGs released in 7th gen.
It's got some really, really solid mechanics and a lot of things that it has to say at save points about Ark the Lad. But that's it for my upcoming week.
Keep in mind all of those are real forum posts they just put into the game.
What?
Oh yeah, every single rant that the save point goes on was just a forum post. I think from one of the insane boards of Something Awful, or maybe a Game Facts board, but I know that they were real.
Jesus.
I'm gonna lose my mind. There's like 20 of those. Feel what you do.
Don't worry about it.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Big Think Dimension. If you would like to support us, head on over to www.patreon.com/gbpodcast, where you can get extra podcasts and early access to our anime podcast, Chugging Bleach and Mondo Cool. Head on over there and become a $5 backer or podlord today. This month's GigaBoots videos were brought to you by the continued support of our executive producers, such as Esme, E. Lee Broyles, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Red Blaze 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, Burning Pepsi Man, Adam Admar, Cooper Tank, and Virmvarm. Thank you very much to our executive producers, and also these gamers. If you want to support GigaBoots so we can continue the content crunch, then head on over to patreon.com/GigaBoots today.